The SPD, it read, crime is down 20%. You had nothing to do with it. The taunt was glib, but it hinted at a profound question about the nature of public safety in American cities. After a pandemic era rise in murders and commonly attributed to a lack of policing, Seattle recorded fewer homicides in 2025 than in 2019, despite a much smaller police force. If less policing made crime go up following the George Floyd protests, and most people thought it did, then what made it go down? What happened in Seattle is happening even more dramatically across the country as America experiences a once in a lifetime improvement in public safety despite a police staffing crisis. In August, the FBI released its final data for 2024, which showed that America's violent crime rate fell to the lowest level since 1969, led by a nearly 15% decrease in homicides, the steepest annual drop ever recorded. Preliminarily, 2025 numbers look even better. The crime analyst of Jeff Ashros concluded that the national murder rate through October 2025 fell by almost 20%, and all other major crimes declined as well. The post pandemic crime wave has receded, and then some. According to Ash's analysis, Detroit, San Francisco, Chicago, Newark, and a handful of other big cities recorded their lowest murder rates since the 1950s and 60s. Our cities are as safe as they've ever been in the history of the country, Patrick Sharkey, a sociologist at Princeton who studies urban violence, told me. Few experts endorse the idea that the police had nothing to do with it, as a Seattle protester claimed, but the link between the number of cops and the number of crimes seems hazier than ever. The low point in violent crime has arrived even though large police departments employed 6% fewer officers going into 2025 than they did at the beginning of 2020, according to a survey by the Police Executive Research Forum. Though they were mostly not in fact defunded, police forces were rocked by retirements and departures. New Orleans lost nearly a quarter of its officers in the years after the pandemic, and then recorded its lowest homicide rate since the 1970s in 2025. Philadelphia had its lowest per capita police staffing since 1985, and just clocked its lowest murder rate since 1966. There are many plausible explanations for the recent crime downturn: sharper policing strategy, more police overtime, low unemployment, the lure of digital life, the post pandemic return to normalcy. Each of these surely played a role, but only one theory can match the decline in its scope and scale: that the massive post pandemic investment in local governments deployed during the Biden administration, particularly through the American Rescue Plan Act, delivered a huge boost to the infrastructure and services of American communities, including those that suffered most from violent crime. That spending may be responsible for our current Pax Urbana. That's a play on Pax Romana. Basically means Roman peace, things being at peace.